I've seen a lot of reviews that goes all over the spectrum about Death Note, the Netflix movie that was released just yesterday. I want to go and give my 2 cents what I think about it. Let's just get this out of the way. If you're not a watcher or reader of the original Death Note, you will like the movie much more than those who are actually readers and watchers. Though that has already been a common theme of movie adaptations of anime and other media all around. With that stated, this movie really isn't awful. It has a good amount of scene tension, some great cat and mouse mechanics that Death Note was originally loved for, though this time it's a bit more Americanized. Yay, America. However, it loses interest for me in the sense that the main couples were very stereotypical. Light Turner at the end does have a bit of a hint of that classic Light Yagami fans loved in the anime and manga, but it isn't enough to redeem the entirety of the movie where he is pretty much just a whiner. Now let's move on to L. Overall, L was much different than his counterpart L. This L was pretty fun to watch if you are looking at it as, L from the other adaptations. He's smart, but rather than using his statistical analysis of situations, this L more or less just assumes things based on his hypothesis in the beginning, and because of that, he just apparently doesn't listen to anybody. He's one of those kinds of detectives who doesn't really use his skills to observe people, and that also loses a bit on me. Though the shining gold piece of this movie, however, is Ryuk. By far Ryuk. William Dafoe was literally Ryuk. There was no acting as Ryuk. William Dafoe was just Ryuk. If there was literally 4 hours of deleted scenes with just Ryuk in them, I would watch all 4 hours of that. Probably even a dozen times. The sad thing is you probably have about 10 minutes of Ryuk time in this movie, and that part saddens me. The icon itself is Ryuk on the movie title and even on the Netflix screen, but yet you don't see nearly enough Ryuk time in this movie. Now, I know, let's go over the actual movie. Was it good? Well, it was okay. Would I say you should watch it if you want? I'm not going to deter curious viewers, but I won't tell you to watch it right now. It isn't bad or even awful in my opinion. It has its problems and maybe some pacing issues definitely in the beginning, but the acting, it isn't bad. The characters do have a different life in them than, well, what I was used to, but they were a life just the same. The cinematography and the lighting and visual effects were really well done. If you want to watch the movie for the visuals and the action and the gore, just go on ahead. There is enough to keep you entertained. The plot was very fast, and it would have helped having this adaptation as an actual live-action series rather than just a small hour-and-a-half movie. But, it's okay. If you just want to watch it to compare it to the earlier adaptations, don't do that. It isn't made in my mind as a retelling, but more as an interesting what-if reimagining with different characters and different histories. And in that aspect, it does succeed. Now, I could go more on depth of why I enjoyed it, and I could also go on depth of what I wish could have done more, but that would take more time than I would actually want to do and time that you probably don't want to hear about. Otherwise, overall, I give this movie a 5.5 out of 10. It's not bad, it's not awful, but it isn't very great. It doesn't have something that just spices up new life in you. But that's all I gotta say about it. Sit Scott Man out.